Hi, it's Ariana Newcomer, and this is Wisdom Wednesdays. My topic today is your sovereignty, and you get to say no. This is inspired again by students in the Wise Women Immersion. We had our second class of the new group yesterday, and from another client yesterday who comes for tuning, for biofield tuning. So, one of the most important things that I feel that I learned as a teacher and mentor is to be respectful of a person's sovereignty and to give suggestions and ask if it's okay to do things or give them some coaching, um, rather than to just dictate to my students and clients. And I do that because I appreciate that way of being taught myself. And so always my favorite teachers and mentors have been ones who did that, who were respectful of me, of my inner knowing. And my tuning client yesterday had the experience of being in another healing office and really not having her inner knowing respected and being told things that were judgmental, really, of her, when she actually knew what was best for her. She's the one that lives in her body. I'm the one that lives in my body. And so I, in my deeper knowing, am going to know better than ultimately anyone who's not in this body. And with one of my students in the Wise Women Immersion, we were talking about the idea that when we're receiving spiritual guidance, when we're connecting with spirit guides or guides, animal spirits, ancestors, any guides from the subtle realms, that we can actually say no. I know a lot of people who have gotten into spirituality and receiving guidance from spiritual guides, and they don't feel like they can say no. And then some people have been completely overwhelmed by the amount of information that just suddenly came in, and they couldn't process it, couldn't deal with it. And personally, my teacher in the Dove Oracle Priestess training, Marguerite Rigoglioso, taught us to filter and discriminate. When she was teaching us to channel, she very specifically said, I don't want to hear funny voices. I don't want to hear accents. I want to hear your own voice. And you're filtering this information through your own goddess self or divine self. And so we're not being taken over. It's really important to claim and reclaim and retain our sovereignty as this being here, this combined human and divine being. And so yesterday I was teaching my students in the immersion to do this, to be able to discriminate when they're connecting with a spirit guide or spirit guides. We all really have many. We have many of them. We have a large circle of them. And sometimes one will come forward more than others, and sometimes they will speak as a group. And it's this very important to understand that if there's a certain kind of information that's coming that's really distressing, it's really off-putting, it feels like it's really pulling us off our center, pulling us out of alignment, we can say no. For instance, I, as a channel, am not interested in bringing through any information about reptilians and Orions and that kind of stuff. I say no. That's not for me. I'm not interested in that. It pulls me off my center. It makes me feel like I'm out of alignment. And so it's really valuable to have our no, to be able to say no. And in the healthcare and healing arena too, we have had this thing with doctors. Doctors are like gods, and this, of course, is less so than it used to be. This is really so still in many ways for my mom, people in her generation. My mom is 90 now. They were really taught to just do what the doctor says. And even if you have this inner knowing and inner feeling that, you know what, that's not right for me, or this isn't working for me. And it's very common for people in healing professions to get on their train, and they have their way of doing things and they have their methods, and they're going to put you on the train and you don't get to get off. But that's actually not the way it has to be. We can actually say, no, that doesn't feel right to me. That doesn't work for me right now. And you can do it without being disrespectful to this other person. You just really are going to hold that inner alignment and respect your own inner knowing, respect this body and its messages to you. It's another thing we've been trained out of in our culture is paying attention to the messages that we get from our body, which has so many different intelligences. It isn't just this brain, it's heart, it's gut, it's womb, it's our spirit, divine self, it's the part of us that connects deep with earth. All those aspects have various intelligences, and they send us messages, and our body will tell us. We've all had that experience of that shrinking feeling, or that the gut just kind of all of a sudden going, and you know that something is off, or you just have a feeling. And we need to honor those feelings and respect those feelings and reclaim our no, be able to say no and be clear and feel fully aligned. And one of the ways to really help with that is to get tuning. These tuning forks are your voices in your energy field. They'll pick up information that is yours. And we can actually help to bring energy that might have been stuck out in your field back into the center so that you can feel more aligned. Most people do feel like they have more clarity and they have more ability to choose whether they're going to react or respond. They have that sort of half-second breath in between the trigger and the response and the reaction that allows them to respond instead of react. So we can become calmer, we can become more clear, and we can have more energy, more voltage inside, because we are electrical beings. Our bodies are electrical. And so the coherent sound, the harmonious sound of the tuning forks really helps to bring our whole selves, our energy field, and then our physical body back into harmony. It's as if the body actually listens to that harmonious sound in the field. It's kind of like when, and I've been a massage therapist for 35 plus years, when you bring awareness to something. So when I put my hands on someone and they have a lot of tension, it's very common for everybody to have tension up here, but we carry it around without realizing it. So when a hand gets put there, then you go, oh, that's really tense and tight. I can let that relax. So that bringing awareness to that particular physical place allows us to do the relaxation. And it's the same thing with the tuning forks in the field. The fork is the voice of you. It eliminates the information in your energy field. And then when you have then that awareness of it, then the body is essentially tuning itself. It's tuning using the harmony and coherent sound of the tuning forks to tune itself. It's really a wonderful, wonderful, profound practice that I am delighted to be doing now. I'd be happy to talk with you about doing some tuning for you and helping you reclaim your no and your sovereignty. See you next time.